Hey guys, it's Diana. I'm on early. My page here is glitching or something. It wouldn't let me go in with my Diana Myers, which they recommend. So I went in Art by Diana Myers. I'm hoping it's not a problem. Everything looks good. I don't know, strange things. I had something I did on Instagram. I'm in this, I told you, this competition, it's a challenge every month. And we're on day 25, and I wanted to put day 25 reel that I made. Every time I use Instagram and try to bring it over, it does something. So now, I don't know what the story is. Let's say change something again. Anyways, Art by Diana Myers. This is our group, the Artsy Rose group, or shop. It is shop. I looked at, I can see it right here. I don't know why I thought it was group. I had a little altercation a few years ago. I have my art license, to teach paint parties and stuff, and tax number and all that. So I thought it was said shop. It does say the Artsy shop. So, and then I named this the Artsy Rose shop, but I couldn't remember because I'm old and there's too many things going on. Anyways, so these are, I'm going to do a couple little stencils for you. Then we're going to do the Paris, the Eiffel Tower. But these are essential stencils. And I just did, which one? I did this one. You can tell it's pink. So here it is right here. Really easy. And I'm just doing it on cardstock. Not real heavy. Lighter one, like 140. Isn't that cute? The thing with this is, though, they're so small. I used my small. I have one smaller somewhere. So you might just use a regular brush. Something that has like a flat edge to it. Like an old brush would probably be good, but something small. So they have a small set, essential stencils. I think if I'm going to keep buying these small ones and use them for cards, that I am going to buy them. So I just ordered something for we're gonna make a door hanger together for Memorial Day. It's a welcome sign, red, white, and blue. It's pretty cool. So, and they're on sale right now. It's a circular one. So there's some other ones. So I'm just gonna turn this around, and then we're gonna mess around with that sign, or with the Eiffel Tower. So I'm just kind of using some leftover paints here. So let me see if I'm up here. I know it's kind of early, but I was so afraid, there I am, that I wasn't going to be able to get on. So, okay, so I went and just cut these up. What are these, like 4x5, 4x6? So they'll fit in an envelope. And I'm just going to do one more. And I just went and I took a wet wipe, or you could do a paper towel and wet it. And it's nice because I can get like this kind of washed out or watercolor look without having to do watercolors, and I just kind of rub it on. See what I'm doing? It gives you just kind of a light background without doing a lot of work. And you can do anything, any way you want to do it. And it all looks right. A little peach around the edges. Just it doesn't take much. And it gives you kind of a different look. Look at it, how quick that is, right? Now you can go over this wet if you want to put stencil in, but I'm going to dry it just a touch. Right here. Isn't that easy? I'm going to do the big one like that too, you'll see. Get a lot of your background done, and then, you can do your painting. I use this technique a lot in my oil painting. I use an acrylic background to dry fast in my acrylic painting, because it gives it like different looks. You see any of my paintings, I'll do 2, 3, 4 colors on the background. It just gives it a very unique look. Okay. Kind of dry. Okay. So let's do a different one. I did that one already. Just so I start this quick. I was going to put in, I have this thing where I put on live. It's in my pictures, and it was not cooperating. I says, something? Let me try my other page, and it went right on. So I don't know, guys. So I got this small one. I have bigger ones. Too big. These are so small. So I use this, and then I use like this small old brush. It's a flat one that's kind of pushed out. It's kind of perfect for it. So I'm going to do the big one first. And don't wet them. Do them dry. When you change colors, wipe them off real good with a wet wipe or whatever you got. So I'm going to do this in pink again, this hat. I think these were out. These are on sale, I believe, for $5. These were, a Valentine's Day item, but I love people, so I can buy heart stuff whenever I want. So I don't think it would hurt to have this for any other holiday. You could do like red and green, or, you know, pumpkin colors, and still have the hearts in there. Or you could turn them into little pumpkins too. Just putting it out there. Now this is darker than the background, so this works out great. And I'm going to come back with that brush. I told you, see this brush? It's a flat brush that's been beat up. I use this for all kinds of stuff, like Mod Podge kind of stuff. It's dry, and I'm going to kind of let it be all mushy. And I'm going to go into that pink I just used. I'm going to do the heart on this. Instead of the red heart, I'm going to do a pink heart. But I kind of got carried away in that other one, and it didn't come out as good, so I had to fix it up a bit. But you can do that. Take your stencil off and fix it. These will be somebody's ATC cards. So anyways, you guys got till Wednesday to do your ATCs and your challenge, which was the April challenge, which there was a whole list of things. In the chat group next month is Mom's Flowers. So any kind of flowers all month long to do Mother's Day. But at the end of the month, I might do some kind of challenge for the Memorial Day, because that's, not a Mother's Day. So anyways, be looking to that. So I thought in the challenge in this regular group too, same thing, flowers. And I'll put a list of flowers in that we're going to do. All right, so let's make the bottom of this dress like I'm going to make this a teal instead. I'm just going to wipe this off without using any water. Into the blue and just tap it. Tap, tap, offload. Tap, tap, offload. And do this blue. Got to have a tiny brush. They have small ones. I think I'm going to have to invest in them. There you go. Oops, let me do a little bit. Sometimes you have to tape these down. I'm really brave, I don't, but you really should. And I got this like flesh tone. I added like an orangey color, and I added some white to it. And I get like this kind of fleshy tone. It's the same thing. I'm stippling and bouncing. You can swirl too. Either swirl or bounce, but I prefer bounce, so. Yeah, so now you get the nose and the hands. I might go back and do the feet with black Posco after. Then I'm going to wipe this off again. And I'm going to go into the white. Offload a little bit. And bop, 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 bop. See how small this is? I'm going to have to probably go to a smaller brush, but we're okay for right now. These are fun. I'm going to do another pop-up on Tuesday, and I've been debating. Now, I don't know what time. That's why I'm calling it pop-up. So, I got stuff going on, so I can just, like, whenever I want. So, I want this jacket that I got on. It's got so much paint on it, and there's a couple other black tops I got. So, I have a ton of stencils. So, I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all different stencils on them. Front, back, all over. Kind of blend the paint in. And there was something else I was thinking about doing. I don't remember. I just had it in my head earlier. It'll definitely be something with that shirt, if not the jacket. All right, so I'm going to take this off real quick. Shoot. There you go. So now I got to fix that mustache and beard up. I'm going to put the shoes in on my own. Ooh, I could do green. No, not green. Purple. Blue. Blue with that blue pants might be cool. Yeah, there you go. There you go. You can also do these stencils with Posca pens. Or any kind of pen that won't bleed will work too. Now I can take a really small brush. Smaller than this, I think. take and make this beard a little more prominent by just making some little slashes like that. Good fun. Always expect you guys to make it your own, do your own thing, you know. But you guys have been putting in some pretty good stuff. That Tammy, she's been putting in some good stuff, and Lori, and Kat. So I was looking through the pictures because I got to decide by next week, and I'm like, oh, crammy, I might need some help. Or what I might do is that I'll pick a couple of the good ones and maybe I'll just pull one out of a hat. You know, just sometimes I do that when I can't make up my mind. There's a few good ones in there. All right, so now we got this. Now you could outline this or something. You could write their name. You could write love. Lots of stuff. Aren't they adorable? I think they're adorable. Just kind of giving this a real quick wipe. So I just wanted to show you guys that. These are essential stencils. And these are still in there because I was in there earlier. I told you I ordered something. And I'm not, I think they're still $5. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. And remember, you get another 10% off if you put in Diana's Deals, capital letters, D-I-A-N-A, Deals. So, just to let you know. And they come just like this, with these little black cards. So you can keep them nice. And you can see what the heck you got. And then this goes in this nice little package. They have these big mailers that they give you. I keep all my, actually I just decided I store all my stuff, all these in there now. I got them kind of, I narrowed them down to a few, and I kind of got them seasonal, like summer, winter, miscellaneous, because there was just too much. So, and I donated a few that I just thought were ugly. Some of the big ones, I mean, they're okay, but sometimes they're just, you don't really want no whole package of big ones. These little ones come in handy. So, I mean, you could do these like on a clay pot, you know, a t-shirt. This would be good on a t-shirt too, right? Wouldn't this be good on a t-shirt? This might go on a t-shirt. So, look, this is cute. Cute, huh? And then my little red one that I screwed up a little bit on, but that's okay. Cute, huh? But you can go back over top these and fix whatever you need to fix too. That's the other thing. All right, so now, just some place to dry. All right, and now let's get started on, it should be like 3 o'clock now, or 4 o'clock, close. I have both of these out. Here's one. And here's 2. So, let me see if you're up here. If you guys are up here. Here's 2. So, the one that I had from before, let me see if you're up here. I think I did it on my own and made a tracer, but I can't find it right now. So these ones I had, this is a Heidi Easley design. Hold on. So these ones I had, this is a, I can't get the volume down. Here it is. So, the thing is, you know, I want you to be creative, and that's why I do the challenges. I want you to, you know, not just win prizes, which is fun, but also to try different things. So I'm going to put my name in here because this thing's, I'm telling you, it was screwy. I could not get on here. Okay, put my name in there. Sometimes I put stuff in the comments, people show up, but I'm a little early, so this one, I think, was the one that I copied. But I didn't use any of this. I didn't use the poodle. I didn't put Paris. But then one time I did, which that is here somewhere. I have a lot of paintings. And I did Starry Night in like a light pink and light blue behind here. But I did do the moon. So we're going to do the moon. We're going to do this stencil. That I like better. Now, if you're going to do this one, this was done with cherry blossoms, pink and white, blue background, and then you do this like in light green. You can get pretty creative with these. So I did one tree and the other one, so I might do a tree, I might not. But what I want to do was I want to make a path with tulips. That's what's in season right now, tulips. My tulips are beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a wash on the background like I just did on those little stencils. So I'm going to take this Bahama blue or crystal blue. It's a really light teal blue. I'll do most of the top, and then I'm going to do the bottom like with the same color with a little green in it. Does that make any sense? And I'm going to do it with my wet wipe, the clean wet wipe. All right, love my wet wipes. All right, so let me turn this around. It's a good way to get a lot of coverage too, and have kind of a, like a watercolor look almost. Watercolor doesn't really work on these little canvases unless you use ground, which I actually have here. But I'm assuming a lot of people are here for acrylic. But the thing with this, even on the ground, it doesn't come out that dark on these. It just doesn't. It's too much to absorb. It works better on the paper. Vellum, rice paper, all kinds of everything but this stuff. But it can be done. So now if it's not taking real good, another trick you can do to get that light look, water. Just give it a little squirt of water, which actually kind of, these boards, these from like the Dollar Tree kind of stuff, they're really stiff. It's just a panel. They can get a little bit dry. So if you wet both sides even, but on these it's like paper, so really it's better just do the front with some water. So I get this really nice light look. You can use a little darker blue, but I'm using this lighter one. I'm kind of putting it on messy and hazy, so you get like a mixed sky here. Give it a really cool look. And I'm going to put the tracer on over the top of this. The paint's not too thick, because sometimes with those tracers I worry, like when you have thicker paint, sometimes the tracer, even with a good piece of brand new graphite, doesn't take so good. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that, but if you do that, make sure that paint is thoroughly dried. Now this will dry quick because it's on thin. Now, on the bottom, I'm going to take that same blue and I'm going to add just a touch of green. So I have like, like a flan kind of color and a little white. I think that's a little too dark for me. So see, I got this green color now. See what I got? Add a little white. Kind of blend it up into that blue. And you can kind of make like you're making bushes up here. Off into the distance, make little circles. That's a good idea. This is looking good. All right, just kind of make little circles. Eiffel Tower is going right in the back here. And I'm going to make like a path too. See how quick that was? Yeah, that's good. I want a path, so we could probably start that path right now. Let me grab some of that white just on the tip here and just kind of do this. Just randomly do a path. I'm going to kind of bring it around in a circle like this. It's going to be right there, and it's going to come right around like that. That works. Now you could even go and throw in a few clouds. Just take a little bit of white on your wet wipe and kind of make some little white circles here and there. Just a little bit, because remember, I don't want this too thick because I want to put that stencil on. Just a bare minimum. Yeah, it kind of looks cool. Then I'm going to have like a moon or a sun in this too, so I can go right now and I can make a circle or not. It's up to you. Just kind of a hazy moon, like dusk or something. So there you go. Just make little circles like a jelly roll, I call it. Start in the middle and just keep it as big as you want it. All done. And it's hazy. It's not like perfect. Go, that's cool. Look at that. That's all done with a wet wipe. How you like that? Now we're going to let that dry. Put these stencils away. Get my dryer out. We're going to dry this a little bit. And then I can do my stencil. something's going on. I don't know. Every time I try to transfer over, I was doing it for a while. I did it for a couple of years, and then I got out of the habit. I do a lot of advertising over there when I was doing a lot of classes. I was doing a lot of classes. I mean, in person. Not so much now. So. Well, I was kind of sick last year, too, so among other things. Now make sure this is pretty dry. I'm hoping you can hear me so that you can get that stencil on. It's all done with a wet wipe. Isn't that a riot? Nice hot dryer. Should put this in the water. Make sure this is all dry too. Alright, so now I want this one, I decided. I'm going to put this right up in here. Almost dead center, maybe just off. More interest when it's just off center. Let me find some ink, some graphite paper. Well, it's raining here. It was nice out the last couple of days. But you want to know something, people? I'm beat. I had put in 2 rose bushes, but for me, it hasn't been anything I've done in a long time like that. Let me tell you something. Things are kind of not good. I'm not bad. Everything's fine. I got mad stuff, but then I like Hallie's pots. I transferred things in my pot. And this morning I went and got a sticker for my car, and I vacuumed my car out and did all the windows yesterday. Let me tell you something. I don't want to do nothing today. I barely wanted to do this. So I said, well, let me get started. So I started doing stuff earlier. I took a little nap because then I couldn't sleep last night. Because, I get too revved up. But that sun does it. And I had 9.5 hours sleep, which has been a long time, let me tell you. I had a lot of energy. But every time I do that, I don't know about you guys, sometimes the next night I don't sleep so good. So I'm just putting it down, ink side down. And I'm basically just going to do this, but I'm going to have to kind of improvise on the other leg. But I'm just going to copy it. Now you can do the poodle. You can do the heart. You can do Paris. I'm not going to. I want you to have creative license. Absolutely. Do your own thing. That's what artists do. You can copy it pretty close, but the only way you learn is to do your own thing. I was just watching this guy lecture on art, and he was talking about you can't learn anything unless you experiment. It's like if you've baked anything, whether it's a box mix or not, and you want to do a little different, you want to do lemons, so maybe he says buying a lemon cake mix, you couldn't find one, so you're going to get some lemons, maybe a lemon seasoning, liquid stuff. But the thing is that that's how you learn. So if you stick to just doing tracers and you don't try anything outside the box, that's all you really know. And don't get me wrong, because I learned from, didn't have tracers back then, but I learned from teachers that would basically walk us through like what I do. And she would say, go home and try some different things. Experiment with the color, experiment with the subject that we're doing, and that's the only way you're going to learn. If you're not willing to do that, it's not about being brave. This is just a simple Eiffel Tower. So if you're not willing to do that, you're probably just going to be not happy with your work. Because every time you paint a little bit, you learn something. Or when you cook a little bit, or when you exercise, or whatever it is that you do, your garden. I have my garden. Great time in my garden right now. So, but the only way you're going to learn is to do your own thing. Not just do the copies, but do your own thing. So I'm going to try to get this as close as I can. With the paint, I can adjust. So let's see. Right here. I'll kind of come around like that. And let me do this. So that's pretty close, right? And I did all these little X's. Like this. And then, see, I made this like, I want this to kind of come like a path through the garden. And in the other one, I made like a, I seen a painting where there was like a street lamp. I can't even remember what it's like, so I'm just going to kind of wing it. I'm going to make a line. It's going to be down in the grass, so I don't need to have a bottom. And I'll make a circle, and then I'll go like that. A little knob on top. We got ourselves a little alien street light. Like that. It's going to be down in the grass, so you don't have to worry about that. So now, let's do little X's across here too. They have like a bridge structure, so you can get pretty crazy with your interpretation, however you want to do it. I'm just kind of winging it here. So now you got your, however you want to do it, in there. So what I'm going to do first is I am going to work on the structure of this Eiffel Tower. Hey, Peggy, I'm going to work on this structure. I started a little bit earlier because my computer, I don't know what's going on today. I don't know. It wouldn't let me on. So, and then every time I get into Instagram, which I don't, just lately it's been doing that, and I transfer my reel over, and it won't let me go into the comments section where I want to put it. So it's sitting in my stuff, but so then I went to get on here. For some reason, it'll only go on Art by Diana Myers. I usually use Diana Myers, but they might have changed something again. I don't know. All right. Okay, so whatever. Okay, so now I'm going to do this first. And then I'm going to put in some grass, and then we're going to make a lot of tulips. So see how like the two basic things was I put the whole background on with a wet wipe. Blue, and then I add a little green to the blue and some white. So I had like this really hazy green. And it kind of gives it a watercolor look. And then I can put my tracer on. But when you do this, guys, make sure that is dry, because I've had where I put tracers on over paint that's too thick and it doesn't go on right. It makes a mess. So even if it's thick paint, make sure it's dry. That's the most important thing if you're going to do that. Other than that, you could just go right ahead and do it on your own, just paint in between. This just makes it a little bit easier and gives it more watercolor look. All right. So I'm going to actually I'm going to use, the black kind of comes out really too thick. So let's get a small, now you could use a Posco pen, but I'm going to use a small, flat, really small, flat brush, because I can use the edge to make the lines better. And I'm going to do it, in what color should I do it? Let's do it, same thing, black. Or maybe I'll use blue. Let's do a dark blue. I got this, twilight blue, and I can highlight over it, or I can even add gold if I want to. This will give it like a maybe kind of a semi-metal look. But I need to be able to see it up good, so I want nothing too big. You want a small brush. Sometimes you don't really just always need like a a small brush, but sometimes you need a liner, and sometimes you need something a little bit more than a liner, and this is more than a liner. And see, I hold my pinky down. Make sure that brush is good and wet. Dip it, and get it wet, and then dab it, because if you get it too wet, it'll run. But if the small brushes dry out quicker than the bigger brushes, it should go on, I always say it should always go on like nail polish. If it's like it's hedging and hawing and it's dragging, chances are pretty good that it's just not quite wet enough. And I am using acrylic paints, Deco Art acrylic paints. Yes, we got a lot of new people here the last couple of months. Yeah. I went over, once I hit 500 in my other group, on my main page, I guess I get stars. So they said I got stars, but I can't figure out if it's on there or not. So that happened last time too. It'll pop up when it pops up. Not that it makes me, I just think like that when more people know me, so maybe a few more people would donate. But they don't always come on my business page, you know. Sometimes they don't, just, you know, they don't want to look at all this stuff. They want to see you, but they don't necessarily want to see. And I'm just going to take and go just like that. Do my little thingy there. Like I said, you could do this with a Posca pen too, or any kind of pen. You could do this in watercolor, on watercolor paper too. It's another thing. I'm just kind of randomly getting this the best I can. I'll let it dry, and then I can come back with a lot of highlighting over this dark color and create some texture and stuff. Yeah, so you guys got till Wednesday to get your challenges in. Make sure you post them and your cards to me. I got 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we get prizes for that too. So fun. I love getting them. I love it. Love it. See, I'll adjust this when once I get the dark color on. It's always dark to light when you're painting with acrylics or oil. Dark to light. So you do your dark first, and I can highlight over this better. I'm adding more kind of crisscrosses as I go. You can do that too. Make it your own. Eye it off, whatever you think looks good. You're probably right. Sometimes you know what you want, and this is a common thing, but your brush is not cooperating, or your hand. So sometimes learning to use different brushes is a good thing. Working these small brushes, you should work with all sizes. I prefer a big one most of the time. Big work, big brush, small work, small brush. So I'll change brushes as I go. So I should do a class on that. I've seen somebody else did that, where you just learn how to maneuver the brush and what you can use the brushes for, like petals and, you know, dry brushing and all kinds of stuff. I should do that with you guys, huh? Wouldn't it be fun? There's all kinds of brushes. I generally stick to the same ones, which I don't know if anybody's noticed that, but I think you just do, you know. So now I got this blue on. I got most of my stuff on here. So I'm just going to keep following the lines here. Whatever X's I made, I'm going to fill it in. You do you. You do you. If you want to do this in a lighter color, you can do that too. Now there's two of them I put on there. So like on this one, all I wanted was that. You could take this and maybe put the poodle down the corner. And you also got this Paris. When you get done with the painting, you can just come back, put that down when it's dry, put that down with the ink paper, with the transfer paper, and put Paris on there too. I mean, it's if you want to. So you can have a lot of fun with them. Even with the stencils, I do that. I'll do 2 or 3 different stencils on something. I only use one part of it, you know. So that's looking cute already. So let me take this blue and kind of... I could have done black, but I felt like that was too dark. I'm gonna fill this in. Doing it different from last time. Like I said, I have a few of those, and I know there's one floating around here somewhere, which is a whole nother subject because, you know, I had to move because that car went through my house, and we had, which I didn't know if it was going to work, but we stored some underneath my porch in these Costco bins. Do you know, guys? They were under there for over a year. I had so much stuff I couldn't even begin to tell you all the things that happened to. And do you know they were beautiful? They were as dry as a bone, and we had one of the worst winters we had in years. So I'm keeping all those containers. I'm just cleaning them all out, and I'm putting them in my shed. There wasn't room in the shed, which is another thing. We didn't have a shed to begin with first. Didn't get the shed till this spring. So, anyways, a lot of it's stored all over, but so we went back through them, and there's still a lot of paintings missing. So what I'm going to do, I got all this YouTube stuff I'm doing, as I'm playing with my phone, I'm going to just put the things in there that I remember that I sold into a separate little file on my phones, and things that I don't know where they are. I got a whole pile over here of the good stuff too. I'm going to go through and see what I got. There's some I call legacy paintings. There's a few of them floating around here. I got in the wall and stuff. Those are going to go to my kids. They want them. Well, sometimes I'll make a copy for somebody, but I call them legacy because they're going to get inherited. Because I know somebody wants them, you know. All right, so now I got the basics in. All right, so now, all right. Rinse my brush off. Anybody rewatches this, make sure you put in there hashtag rewatch, so I know. That's how I tell people how people like stuff. If they, now I'm gonna go through here and there, and I'm gonna put on a highlighter too, right in between here. Do some white. I've never seen the Eiffel Tower. I'm thinking you can kind of, there's a little pink in here, but that's okay. I'm thinking you can kind of see through it, but I wouldn't imagine, because there'd probably be the skating on the other side, right? Let me do a little bit of a light blue and a white, kind of violet-like with that pink. You kind of just go do some colors in here. Make a little psychedelic maybe here. Oh, I'm liking that pink. That was an accident, but that was a Bob Ross accident. Happy accident. I got that pink and blue and white. I got like a violet. That blue we're using plus a pink. Ooh, that's pretty. That works. I'm just not trying to make it real pretty. I want it to look almost like a watercolor, so that's what I'm thinking. Just kind of staining the canvas here. Still might go over this with a Posca pen. Now that blue that I'm using is Twilight. It's kind of a dark blue. Then the pink I'm using is, over here somewhere, is Carousel Pink. Not really a mauvey pink, but definitely a blue-based pink. Right here I have pink and this blue. I'm mixing them together, a little white, and I'm getting this like kind of violet color. I'm doing it in between here. I'm thinking I might go over this dark color, the lines with white too. I think that'll look pretty good. We're still going to make the path and the tulips, and yeah. I'm thinking once I get the extra white lines on here, that'll make a difference too. Maybe I'll do some in here too. I did this in white, but I'm filling that back in with some violet. This is kind of like an opening, so we'll leave that. Yeah, so I started all my gardening, and my tulips are gorgeous. I'm just in love with them. I bought those through Lowe's. I'm thinking, oh, they probably won't do that good. The rose bush I bought last year, I got David Austin. I paid way too much for it, but oh my God. It was kind of blooming when I got here. It was a big one. And I just ordered another one. I'm waiting for it. Oh, I can't wait. I got like 2 climbers, one for each end of the mobile home. And then I I found two cute little, they're small. It'll be a while. What do they call them? Lilac bushes. And then at Wally World, I found a hostas. And I have some plants that I had from my old house. I had a huge garden. Never got back there. I was in bad shape to like take it all out. I don't even know what's going on over there. So I never got a chance to go over there. And I took a few things out when I left. Took my sister's. Some survived, some didn't. Kind of a bummer. Yeah. Put more pink in this side. A little more pink over here. Yeah, so I got what I got. But it's looking kind of good over here. I mean, it's still, the soil was all turned over. They had to dig a hole to put the foundation down to put this mobile home on top. So it's like all rocks. So we're going to be doing rock painting pretty soon. And I got lots of rocks. They're not really perfect rocks, but that's okay. I just seen this thing where a lady takes, I get my ideas from other artists. All the artists do. And she took, don't ask me where it was, but she takes, which I had thought about doing. I don't really do a base coat. I just do a solid, make sure the brushes, the rock is clean. But she takes and she mixes, which you can do, her Posca paint. This pink looks good in here. I'm going to do this more pink over here. She took her Posca pen, not Posca pen. She took her gesso and her acrylic paint, and she used that for a base. She mixed them together. And so I'm going to try that and see how that works. Some of the rocks I got are not smooth. I have to go and get some more stuff for the house, you know, different things for the garden. So I'm going to take a look. Someone says that they've been buying all their rocks from the garden center. Well, I don't want that many rocks, but they're, you know, they're better looking rocks. I went on, I'm going to do more pink up in here. I went up on, to buy rocks off Amazon. Oh my God. I'm like, that's ridiculous. I know for landscaping, but they're just little rocks. The dollar store only has the really small ones. They used to have the bigger ones. I don't know what happened with that. This pink is looking good, guys, so I'm coming back with the pink. I'm just winging it here, guys, for real. I'm just, whatever looks good is going in here. I said I'm going to come back with some white pasta over this. But I want some color first. So this purple's looking good up here, but same thing. I think it needs a little color, so I'm going to go kind of hit this with some pink here and there. Have fun with it. It's going to look a little psychedelic, but I kind of like that. Yeah, so I'm thinking pretty soon here. I like to do them outside. I moved the picnic table up front here. I got a new picnic table. It has to be finished yet, but I, stain. Haven't gotten to it. It's been, if it ain't, it was beautiful. We haven't had weather like that. I can't tell you how long. It was unseasonably warm. It was so gorgeous. But see, now it's back down to normal, like 50s. It's kind of depressing. We had a bad winter. My brother was out there, had my brother has a garage, and he put my sticker on, and his whole roof fell in. He said it was, I said, I know winter was bad. I says, I got stuck in the house twice, couldn't get my door open. It was that cold, my door like iced shut. I'm not kidding, guys. It's a brand new storm door. Now it's got to be adjusted. I'm waiting for the guy. All right, so now we got the top done. It took a while. All right, so now let's work on this bottom. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to kind of rub over it with that pink and purple. Kind of give it a little purpley background. Then same thing with the same brush. It's like a flat, really small. Don't ask me here. I'll tell you this. It's an Artzy number 2 filbert. Filbert is where it's flat, but the edges are rounded. I don't know if you guys know that. So it gives the advantage of a round brush and a flat brush. That's filberts are nice. These I got, the black ones I have are all Artzy. I treated myself last year. They're nice little brushes. They clean up beautifully. Ever tell you guys what I use for brush cleaner? I, for years, used the pink soap. Now, a little tiny bottle, that big now, is $10. And that was, I don't even know what it is now. It might be more. So then I know that a lot of people used Murphy's Oil Soap, so I use that. Although I think it's still a little dry. And acrylic brushes have to be a little stiff, but they were too stiff. So, long story short, I have a friend, and he shipped me some all-natural paint, or soap. Do you know my brushes are beautiful? So you know those handmade soaps you see in those little craft fairs and stuff? You can buy them too. Buy that. I also bought the other stuff, the pumice stuff. You know, it comes, what is the name of that? It's too expensive. I bought my brushes every day and wash them. So, get yourself natural soap. And if they're bad, I'll use my Dawn. But it dries them out. It gives it not really like oily, but you have a little slickness to it. Softness, not slick, softness. So nice. So see how I'm doing this purple? Then I went back with the pink, kind of gave it a nice look. A little white too. So, anyways, guys, try natural soap. It's like handmade soap. It's not like like what you buy in the stores. All natural handmade soap. Shoot, I'm on my last bar too. Look, I did. Beats the heck out of paying $10 for a little tiny bottle. And the other stuff is just as bad. I used to use that with painting with a twist, but just it's ridiculous. So I use the natural stuff. I put a little bit of white in here too, so a little bit of white. Gives it kind of a hazy look. A little bit of white, and then I'll do the pink. So I haven't, I'll probably never get that YouTube finished, which is another whole story. I had to learn a few things about it, but I got, they have an app now called YouTube Studio, which I went and got, and I've been looking through stuff. So at some point, I'm going to invite everybody, and we're going to do a little class over there when I figure out how to do it, because I haven't figured out how you can transfer it like this. I got this thing. I'm assuming you can do the same thing, so I can go there and check that out. I have done videos over there, but I haven't done like this type of video. But I'm still downloading stuff. And I want to do, I told you, these specialty classes, like habit stacking and, stuff like that. So I'll get back to it. A little more white over here. Now I can go back with some pink. I might add some flowers right there too. I'm just adding a lot of colors, making this look psychedelic. The foliage will kind of cover some of this up, and I'm gonna go, like I said, I'm gonna go back over some of this. I want it kind of blotchy looking, so that's good. Those little Posca pens come in handy, I'll tell you. That's what I'm gonna do. Take some of this white too. You do you. You do it however you want to. I think this is dry up there. I can go over it with some white. Leave that part behind there darker, and it makes it look like it's goes in deeper. We'll go over this with some white. Oh, that looks good. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. Anybody does this, make sure you post it so you can see what you're doing. I really can't help you if I don't know what you're doing, Most of the time I'm not going to say anything mean, but sometimes I might make a little hint, what might help. A little pink here too, a little pink here, one more pink. We like pink, I love pink, I love pink. I had to stop looking at all the pink roses. I could have just had all pink roses. I found 2 more bushes at Ollie's, all places. People say, they don't last. No, I'll tell you something. Years ago, I got some from Big Lots. Those things were massive. I didn't get, they're too much work. They get too big. I got just bush-like types. Floribunda, which means it'll bloom all summer long off and on. So that's kind of cute with the white, though, huh? All right, so let's see. This is pretty thick right here, so I think I can get in here with the big brush. Yeah, that works. If you have to do your Posca pen, like I said, you want some of that dark to show up, so don't totally cover it. Don't totally cover it. See, I'm like not being exacting. I think that makes it kind of look better. If you're not like too fussy with it. So people want to learn how to be more like not so fussy, you know. Best way to do it is to move pretty fast. That's what I find. And I'm not the only one like that. Justin Gaffrey, he did a lecture one day and he talks about that. A lot of artists do. Getting all like, I just seen a whole thing on it. If you're getting too stiff and you're trying to make it perfect, you lose a lot because you're so concentrated on that one little spot. And I've said this for years. You move over and you can't get that same consistency because you want like a kind of an overall flow. And when you're trying to be too strict, I mean, there's a lot of the people that are really good that do that type of painting. They're not that strict. They give themselves room to be creative, if it's making any sense, to go with the flow and change it. So you kind of lose a lot. You need to like practice and you need to like try new things and don't be afraid to try brushes and stuff, all of it, colors, everything. Because what happens is you get too worried about the final product and really no one cares but you. So you're better off like just kind of letting it be and moving on to the next section and just work from side to side, up and down. You know, experiment. Don't like try to just be all in one spot. It just doesn't end up being well. And you make yourself stress out because it's kind of like how I ended up getting to palette knifing and trying different art because I kind of gave up for a while. Like, and oil is not hard. It's not easy to learn. Oil is, I think, the hardest one to learn. So, anyways, long story short, a lot of people get caught up in that, the perfect, you know, the perfect art, and it's very stressful. And if you let go of some of that, then you that gets better. But you can't like restrict yourself to just trying to make it perfect. And art was never meant to really be perfect. It's just interpretations of different things, like angels and stuff, you know. All right, so let me see. I got him in there pretty good so far. Pretty cool, huh? I might even go over here still with some white Posca and maybe a little gold or silver. All right, put this back. Yeah, so don't try to like do it really perfect. Get as close as you can. Experiment with your colors and your brushes, and a little highlight on this little street light here. Maybe put a little pink on him too. Just a little bit. See on one edge? Oops. I lost something over here. See a little bit of yellow. This orangey yellow. Kind of make a little light right here. Just so tiny, tiny. And I could even put a little white on that too. Just choop. Choop, 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 choop. Just kind of smudge it up a little bit. Like I said, I might look more like a watercolor. Alright, so now let's talk about some foliage. Put that away, and let's get ourselves one of our big flat brushes here. I got a big old fancy one, but I'm going to use my good and old trusty painting with a twist beat up looking thing. Sometimes these beat up brushes are the best for like foliage because they give you all these little different textures. You know, you should always have one of these in your kit. So I'm going to pick up some green, and I'm going to mix it in with some of this blue because I want the painting to be cohesive. So I will mix these two colors together. A little white. I got green, I got this blue, the green, and some white. And I'm bouncing over here on the side. Kind of semi-mix it, and I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to do this. If it's too dark, I can go over it with white and making this kind of like foliage. And this brush is like all separated. See how it is? you can rough it up with you're going to ruin your brush. This brush is already ruined. It's a good brush though. So acrylic brushes tend to dry out anyway, so, and I like the, you know, the impressionist look. So I'm going to do this side too to kind of go around this thing, but I could put it over the top. There we go. Get some foliage. And we can kind of bring this around. Remember I put those lines in? Let's bring this right around here. Bounce that brush back and forth around. It's going to be narrow here, and as it comes forward, it's going to be bigger. So you want to narrow this off in the distance here. Not perfect. Don't do a perfect line. You can kind of do a little meandering path here, as it would be. Same thing. Do it again. That pretty light teal, the green, and some white. I'm going to put a little more white in this. This needs just like a little bit. It's a little too dark to me, so I'm going to just kind of come in here with that white in the light teal and lighten that up just a tiny bit. Then I'm going to kind of make some layers here. You bring it right over the edges of this, because it wouldn't, like, if it was really here like this, because I don't think it is. There is gardens there. It would, you know, some of it would come right over the top of this, the bottom of this. So I'm just kind of randomly putting in some grass. Go up underneath this tree. You can kind of go at an angle and you'll get like a little hill. Go like this, like that. And bring it right down. Bob Ross technique. That's what I call it when you do this. He does it with his big brushes too, but you could use a pretty big brush. You could use one of these big, even like one of these utility brushes. We get the same effect. Okay, let me do that for you. These little cheap, these things are the best thing. And I'm just going to wet the brush just a tad. Come back and get the same colors, the blue, the green, and the white. And just kind of, yeah, that's working. Gives you like a little bit different look, but not much. We're going to be putting tulips in here, so I need a little background. The tulips are going to come up out of the ground, so they need some dirt and some foliage and stuff. A little green in here, a little more green. Got to hit a little harder with this one. It's very soft. A little more of that blue. And now you got to decide where you want to put these tulips. You could even go up in here and add more trees, a little bit of just kind of indication of color here. Maybe a couple of trees up in here. Maybe in your world. Does that sound familiar? I love that guy. You know, he has his own station I watch. I just put it on like for background noise like I do the radio. In your world. Oh God, he was a nice man. Evidently he was a womanizer though too, you know. He was a player. He was a player, let me tell you. That little afro got him in all kinds of trouble. You guys ever watch the backstory on him? There was a whole documentary on, what do they call that? Netflix. You can put some right in here. All right, so that's done. Let's see what we got. He was a player. So now we got to add tulips. And I might mess with that moon a little bit. I think I want to kind of bring that out a little bit. It's kind of just like a misty moon. Yeah, that's looking good. I think the pole's that straight, but that's okay. I'm not stressing about it. Anybody else on here? Not yet. Like I said, anybody who watches it, it's a big thing on this one business group. A lot of people rewatch, so I don't stress out if I get one day where there's only just a few people, because I'll have like 10 rewatches over a week period. But do remember that this is only good for 30 days, and then it gets deleted. They're not really deleting any of my old stuff right now. I have until September. First it was June and September. It's September now, so all the old stuff will still be in there if you can find it, because it's all over the place. They don't give them to you in order. So, but any of the new stuff the last 3 months is all been every day. Like I get a notification that something's got to be deleted. All right, so turn this around. So I kind of want to put an edge on this, just so it shows up. I'm just going to kind of brighten it up a little bit. Get a lot of rewatches. Every now and then I'll get one that's like from something. I'm like, what are they watching? Because I don't know, you know. I just kind of want to just put a little more definition on this. Just this one side to make it look a little rounder. Just kind of blend this in a little bit. Dry brush it in. Just pick up a touch of paint. I don't want it too dark. Yeah. Got a little cord problem here. Over here. Yeah, that's good. Let me go into that white and kind of do the same thing I did. I'm going to kind of put some clouds right here. Just with my paper towel. Just kind of putting a few clouds in. See, I'm basically just here to give you some ideas. Just so it isn't a little less hazy there. All right. So now I want a small liner brush. I got a rigger. I had a rigger out here. Where is she? I don't always put them back in the water because they end up being crooked. And I can put them into really, really, really hot boiling water and straighten them out, but you only want to do that every so often. So I kind of just take my spray bottle here, and I'll keep hitting it with spray and just leave it here. So I'm going to make me some loose green. A little pile of loose green here. Let me get another brush for that because it's need to make a little loose green. Put some green, a little bit of that yellow that I had over here. Lighten it up. A little white, a little yellow. Make myself a nice little pile. I don't think there's enough yellow here. Or maybe a little bit. A little loose, because you know when you're doing with the rigger or with a really thin brush, it goes on better if it's thinner. So I had just not a lot, just kind of inky, just so that the brush will move better. So it'll move better. Then I can kind of go through and little indications of some a little darker, a little too light. Just some little indications. And if you notice, I'm going from the bottom up. What happens a lot of times, I mean, I've seen people do it the other way, but if you try to do this way and you keep going over it, you're going to get too thick. Or if you go from the bottom and flick up, you get a much better looking plant. So I'm just going to kind of put these in first and then put in some colorful little tulips. Now you can do just around the edges here. And remember, they're going to be bigger right here, but as you go back, shorter, smaller strokes because it's farther away. Same thing, I'm dipping into the water into my paint and I'm rolling it. So I got this little puddle of water right here. I add a little yellow to it. And I just, see how I'm rolling it? And I can kind of just go through wherever I want to put them. I'm going to put bigger stalks in the front, smaller ones in the back. And I might do a little bit of clump of ones right here around this lamp. Wouldn't you put that around the lamp? A little thing of flowers. And you could just do a few randomly here and there. Whatever looks good to your eye. Oop. And then I can go through and get me some pretty colors. So just kind of, that works. They're gonna need some like leaves too, but I'll wait a second to do that. I'll go back to that little kind of round, flattish, or any kind of round brush. And I'm gonna pick up some, what would be good with a pink? I don't want to just pink though. Let's do some yellows too. Let me get that some more yellow out. I think it needs a little more color. You could do red, yellow, orange. They come in a lot of colors, tulips do. Let's do some yellow ones first. I'm just going to kind of make a little whoop like that, little U. Just like a little U. Like that. Make a little U. Maybe a little bigger up here, a little bigger. Just more towards me. You guys can see this. Then I'm gonna need, I think, seriously, I think I'm gonna need, I need a little red. Let's put a little red in here. Yeah. There's a little yellow on my brush, so this is working out great because it's kind of an orangey color. Yeah. Then I kind of want to pick up on that pink that's there too, so still with a dirty brush, just go into that pink and kind of put a few pink ones in to make it all kind of work together. You can put little dots like out in the, people will think they're going way out there. Maybe a few red dots. Maybe little yellow ones way out here. People think they're all over. Just off in the distance, they would only be little, just little indications of flowers. And there might be some smaller foliage flowers too. Need more pink. Need more pink ones. Those ones are a little too big, but that's okay. Well, that's lots of fun. Now I want to make go back with that liner or the rigger brush and make some more green. I want to kind of give these guys a little, which I'll go the opposite way, and I'll give these a little, those long leaves that they have, like that. The opposite way, we can bring it down. Kind of do just some little grassy ones here. Maybe put a little yellow in too. A little grassy one. Don't be afraid to just throw it on there too. Mother Nature can be very random, but she looks organized. It's really strange, right? How it can be, when you look down the ground in front of you, you see all these like pieces all over, but when you walk away, it looks organized. Mother Nature is pretty amazing. And I am going to just like kind of take the white and Just make this little like swirls. Maybe take a little green and kind of bring this almost to an end down here so we can see something's going on down there. Just on this one corner. Just a little bit of the green too. You can even take and add a little grass here and there. If you want, you could even do a few tree limbs. I'm just going to use that green, and I can go just kind of make a few like really thin indications of bushes. All right, so let me get my Posca pen out. I want a white one if I can find it. There's a yellow one. I want a white one. I swear to God, this thing was more organized when it was a mess. Does that make any sense? I don't like this moon. This moon still looks kind of weird to me, and it has a little more shape to it. Let me kind of stand this up for a minute. Sometimes I need it like it's on an easel or something. Yeah, that's a little more rounder. I'm going to kind of fix up some lines here. Over this dark lines, I'm going to just make it more even. Make sure this is dry or you ruin your pen. This is pretty dry. Yeah. I feel like it needs a little more foliage in the bottom of these legs here. Kind of, there you go. Just kind of fill them in a little bit. A little yellow. Little bushes. Little bushes. All right. A little yellow up in here too. I'll post a picture of this when I'm done. A little more light up on here, a little more yellow. A little more springtime. Needs a little color. All right, okay, kind of brings it down a couple notches. All right, let's see what we got here. Look at that. That looks like summer or spring, don't it? Now, it's not like we're on the streets of France, but it's okay. Yeah, I think this one side's not far enough over. Bring it over a little bit. It works. Alright guys, that's pretty much it. I kind of did my own thing by using both the paintings, or both the tracers. So I expect you to do the same thing. I gave you a bunch of ideas. And then we got this little, if you're interested, you could order these little stencils for your ATCs. Oh, they're drying over here. I had to, where'd I put them? I heard something fall. Here it is. This is one. I don't know. Wait, it is. No, this is watercolor paper. It's a lighter kind, so I'm gonna put these in a book. Aren't they cute? They're so cute. Like I said, I think they're Valentine's Day, but they were like $5 and then you get like 10% off. So they had a couple other things that I did. That swan that I did was $5 too. And I went, it was a lot of things are sold out, but I went back earlier because I ordered that thing for the red, white, and blue for Memorial Day we're going to do. And it was only, that was $10. But this one, the swan was only $5. So it wasn't sold out yet, but I'm thinking it's a couple other things I wanted. I've seen the sewing machine one, like an antique one, I was going to do something with, and it sold out. And there was these boots, combat boots. They were so cool. And I had debated about getting them by the time I went back there, they were gone. Because a lot of their stuff, they'll bring it back, but there's a lot of things that they keep all the time. But everything is, they're trendy. So they'll, whatever in style they'll do. Right now, military stuff. They got some cool looking combat boots too. Small ones you could use for cards. They got a little collection of for Father's Day, but I don't do all that stuff for my dad. And my mother and my mother-in-law are dead, so just me. All right, guys, so I will see you. I'm going to do pop-up class on Tuesday sometime. I'm going to put some stencils on my t-shirts so I can cover up some of those painting stains. And I got a couple other things up there. I was thinking about that one thing I was doing. Now I can't remember, but I'm going to be on Tuesday sometime. And then Thursday, and then Friday next week, no class for my other group. And then, of course, Saturday. And I will give you an agenda because I'm making the calendar for them. And I'm going to make a list for you for Mother's Day, or for the month of May, which is going to be all flowers for ATC and this group. And then we're going to have a challenge for the end of the month for the red, white, and blue. So be thinking about things that you want to do that are Memorial Day. There's not going to be any strict changes. It's going to be just something for Memorial Day. I'll give you like a week and a half or something to win a prize. Yeah. So, all right, guys. So I'll see you sometime Tuesday and sometime Thursday. So I hope inspiration finds you wherever you go. And make art, guys. Make lots and lots of great art. See you later, guys. Bye.